Um, so as I said to you last time that the next step, we are going to continue collecting data using supplementary sources, including consulting experts. That's one source. Another source is backward snowballing to look into references of each article in the sample. So I'm basically in this week preparing for the structure for you to collaborate with me into these two directions. So I'm going to share with you the desktop of my computer. Let me go. So here, you see these three things here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have one folder called 252 citations downloads. That's where the full text of the citations we included in the first round will be downloaded here. And then you have supplementary data search. Let me see if I can. Yeah. So you have supplementary data search steps. That is guidance for the next step. Okay.
Yes.
So this document is actually for the first source, how we can continue. So there are two steps in doing this, in doing consulting experts. One is to look for highly cited authors. One is to look for highly productive authors. So for highly cited authors, we use Google citation number. Okay, Google citation number, as I screenshot here, this number here. Okay, so we use Google Scholar to look into these 252 citations, collect the statistics from that numbers, and then we understand who are more cited along these years. So for the most productive authors, I already did the filtering. So I'm just sharing with you the results. So we have in total 513 unique authors, and 26 authors published 2 items in the sample. 10 published 3 items, 11 published 4 to 10 items. So in summary, 47 authors published more than 2 items, and among them, 21 authors published at least 3 items. So we only consider those authors who published more than 3 items as serial authorship as highly productive authors for our research. And that's in total 201 authors. So it's listed here. So the first one is Johansson, for instance, with 10 items, and it appear under the citations of 260, 261, 262, etc. Okay, so this is corresponding to the column of index number. And as you can see that these are the 21 authors. So the next step, in the next 1 week, I want you to help me work on this document. Let me share with you this one. Can you see the Excel table?
Yes.
Opened? Okay, so I basically, so let me quickly show you how I did the author, how I actually finished the highly productive author filtering. So I basically line up the authors by order for each citation. So for citation 3, that's the first citation, you have first author as Bigse, the second one as Lucena, the third one as Rivza. So something like this. So I line up the authors by column in the consideration of their orders in the citation, and then I basically compile them into one list of unique authors by removing the duplicates. Okay, so because there are co-authoring basically, and some actually did more than one, so there are some duplicates. So after removing that duplicates, these are in total, as I said before, to 500 13 unique authors. And then I look for in the first author how many, in the second author how many, based on this unique records. And then during this process of removing duplicates, I'm also able to actually find compile, but different items into one record. So for instance, I combine 3 items from Chen CK into one record like this. So that's how I actually got the 21 authors I mentioned to you before. Okay, so what I want you to help is go to this All Citations tab. So I already imported more data for the 200 and for about 199 records. Before, remember, we only have like this, right? So now we have much more data here. What I need you to do is go through 250 citations here in the first 3 columns. The first one is full text available or not. So if it is available, you put 1 here. If it is not available, then you put 0 here. Okay, then I also share with you in the guidance Word document how you can look for full text. Okay, first, you use Kyoto University's campus access to the scholarly document. If you're at home, you can use the plugin the library provided. So that's the first one. And then you can, if you cannot find anything, you use Google to search. That can lead you sometimes a ResearchGate or academia.edu that can allow authors sharing copies of the document. Third one is you use Google Scholar to search. That's similar to Google search. Okay. And the fourth one is use the DOI number if it's available for each citation, and you go to site-hub.ren. So I also share the link into that document. You can check later. So that is, if there's a DOI number, you directly quote the DOI number and look for the document from that website. So that is about the full text check. And then if there is a full text, you download the PDF documents and make an organized array PDF document in the format of the index number first, and then the last name. So for instance, for this one, if the full text is available, then you name the document as 461. That's the index number of this citation, plus basically the first part, the last name of the first author, and the publication year here. So you combine these 3 elements to name the document. And then you save that in the folder I pointed to earlier. So all these steps are recorded in the Word document I share in the share folder. You can check later. So the second column, that is short for Google Scholar citation number. That's what I showed you earlier. The number, the citation number, which is shown under the records on Google Scholar. So this is where, let's say this one has been cited by 128, then you just put 128 here. Okay. And let's say today you finished all this how many of this? Let's say 10 of this, and you needed to put the date here. So let's say 9 September 14, 2020. This is for the record of later rewriting report. Because every day, the citation number on Google Scholar basically got updated. So you have to tell the reader when this data was collected from Google Scholar. Okay. So these are the 3 columns I want you to help me with. And this work, I will not put my hand into it. So you too divide into divided this into two parts and you two do it because I need now to focus on how to analyze the themes. So I needed to figure out how the next step should be done. And also I needed to structure for the backward snowballing, how it is better for the data structure for us to work together. Okay, so for instance, I'm now preparing for the next step, which is a backward snowballing. And that I basically, let me see, where is the references here? So I'm trying to understand because for backward snowballing, you needed to look into the references of each citation. So I'm now trying to basically scraping the references into one Excel table so that you don't need to open the PDF file one by one to look for it. So I'm trying now to understand how I've already collected, let's say how many, 199 citation out of, so 199 out of 252. Now the references are inside the Excel table. So I now needed to have a look how the other ones I can integrate and how this can work for us. So that would be all for the next week. I hope the time is sufficient for you, enough for you. But if when you are doing it, if you feel like it's too stressful, let's extend one more week. Okay. But let's try to finish this in 1 week